You just sat down at an instrument and played a single dissonant chord. The musical devil. For centuries, the church called this sound blasphemous. But the question isn't about one chord. It's about every single time a new instrument arrived at the church door and was called pagan. Let's go back 800 years, the 13th century, the time of Thomas Aquinas. He had an issue with a simple harp. Harps were seen as carrying too much baggage. They reminded people of the Old Testament and music that wasn't strictly Christian worship. This is a great lesson for us creatives. It wasn't about the instrument's sound. It was about its cultural association. The church feared any music that felt too external, too worldly, or too much like entertainment. They pushed the harps out. The lesson? The church is often afraid of new good tools, simply because they come with a history that isn't theirs. But thankfully, that fear didn't last forever. You think a harp is controversial? Try adding 1,000 pipes. For over 1,000 years, the pipe organ was banned. Not because it was pagan, but because it was theatrical. It was too big, too loud, too dominating. It made the performer the center of attention. The argument was, music is meant to support the hymns, to quietly worship. The organ was so sensational, it stole the focus away from God and put it onto the show. This is the danger every creative faces. Is my music, is my talent, my skill, drawing people to me or to God? The organ was eventually brought in by figures like J.S. Bach, who dedicated his life to using that massive instrument for the greater glory of God. It was accepted when the motivation became pure worship. Fast forward to the 1970s, we weren't fighting pipes anymore. We were fighting the drums and the electric guitar. The backlash was identical to the harp and the organ. The establishment screamed, too worldly, too loud, too sensational. Sound familiar? The core conflict is always the same. New sounds feel dangerous. But here's what changed. The church came. Not because they surrendered their standards, but because a new generation, Christian creatives, demanded to use the tools of their time to worship. The lesson is simple. We must adapt. We see that the pattern here is clear, and it teaches us three vital lessons as Christian creatives. 1. New tools are initially met with resistance. 2. Every skill and ability God gave you is meant to be refined and used for Him. 3. The church eventually learns to embrace the beautiful diversity of its Creator. God has put abilities and creativity in you for His kingdom purposes. So use the tools of your time, whether they're ancient or brand new, to glorify the one who made you. If this short history inspired you, click the like button, comment, and subscribe. This is part of our new series called The Faithful Creatives, where we talk about how to create for God in an AI age. In our next topic, we will talk about how Christians secretly steal without them knowing it. Again, this is Hayal Eyes. Thank you for watching, and God bless.